Hey there, my friends. Happy Tuesday. Welcome into another edition of Teach Me Tuesday. I am Jen Pitta-Buck with By the Shore Stamping, and I'm excited today to bring you a fun fold featuring the In Symmetry bundle. And actually it's more like the Sweet Symmetry Suite, because I'm actually using the stamp set and mostly the paper. But this is the bundle, so it comes with the punch and the stamp set if you do the bundle. The Suite has some really pretty ribbon, this really pretty Flirty Flamingo gold flecked ribbon as part of it, as well as the paper, which I will also show you. So let's just take a quick peek at that, and then we'll get into this really fun card. So I'm just going to flip through kind of some of these pieces so you can see. It's some really bold, bright, fun, summery kind of themes, and then also some more muted patterns. But it's just a really fun set of papers. And so that's what we're really focusing on today. But let me show you this fun fold. So this is probably my favorite piece of paper in the kit, or in the paper pack. But what really makes this card fun is, look, it's a pop-out card, so you can see it kind of pops out at you, which is really fun. So I want to show you how to make this card. And honestly, this was inspired by somebody else, and I cannot remember where I found it, so I apologize. If it's yours, please comment below and tell me, because I would love to give you credit. But I did redesign the card, so it's completely different than the one I saw online, but I did use their mechanism to create it. So I feel bad that I didn't write it down and I don't remember. All right, that's the problem with getting old. You got to do these things while you're still thinking about it. All right, so I'm going to kind of pull all this stuff aside, and I'm going to tell you what you need first here. So you're going to start with a 4 1/4 by 11 inch piece of cardstock. So if you have an 8 1/2 by 11, you would cut it at 4 1/4, and that would give you 2 card bases to make 2 cards of this size. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to take this card stock, and we're going to score it at 5 1/2 to make our card base. So this is just a traditional card base, so we're not doing anything different here. Whoops, I had some cardstock stuck in there. That would be a normal card. It would be a side opening card or a top opening card, but it's still a normal card base, okay? I'm just gonna grab my bone folder and give that a nice good crease. So let's go ahead and put together the front of the card first. So I'm using a little bit different pattern paper than the one I did originally, which I love both of them, but it's still got that navy blue in it. So I'm gonna go ahead and tape this down to the front. This piece is 4 by 5 1/4. So we'll just attach this to our card base. Okay. Like so. Okay, and then we're going to do a little bit of stamping. So I die cut with our stitched rectangles a medium-sized stitch rectangle here, and I'm going to use the Flirty Flamingo ink and the flower image, which actually I think I'm going to clean this first because I just used it in my Facebook Live and we used a different color. So let me just clean that off. Okay, just make sure that's clean. Whoops, it's a little wet. There we go. And I'm gonna do the pink. Now I don't remember if I stamped off or went straight to the paper. I think I went straight to the paper. Yeah, because that's a little bit light. I think it just kind of lightens up on its own. So I'm just gonna go ahead and stamp this right in the middle of that stitched circle, or nope, stitched rectangle actually is what that is. I do know my shapes. All right, so now I'm gonna let that soak in a little bit. We're gonna grab the Night of Navy and a thin strip of the Bumblebee cardstock. So this one measures a 1/2 inch by a little over 4, so 4 1/8 probably. I'm gonna grab Hey Friend, and we're gonna stamp that right in the middle of this, hopefully straight. There we go. Okay, oops, I got some ink over here on the side, but we're probably going to cut that off, so it doesn't matter. I'm going to use my scissors to do a little banner end on this. So I'm just going to snip in the middle and then go corner to center and corner to center, like that. Okay, and then we'll do the same on the other side. Corner, or slit in the middle, corner to center, corner to center. Okay, and we're gonna lay that right right about there looks good. I'm just gonna put it down flat. Right in the middle there. Just a little bit there, showing at the bottom. Like that. I am gonna add a little rhinestone, probably a medium-sized rhinestone right to the center of the flower, and then we'll attach this to the card using some Stampin' Dimensional. So a really super easy front of the card, because we're gonna get all fancy inside, right? So we'll do that. Take these off, and we'll attach that to the card. And I love that the pattern paper kind of gives us instructions, right? So it tells us what colors we need to use. If you look in the catalog itself, so I happen to remember that this is on page 112. So if you go to that page where the suite is shown, you can see it tells us Bumblebee, Calypso, Coral, Flirty Flamingo, Night of Navy, Just Jade. So those are the colors in that paper. So then you can just pull those colors to make your cards, and there's really no thinking involved, which is always really good. All right, so now I'm gonna take another piece of Night of Navy cardstock. This one measures, sorry, I'm just trying to prevent things from falling off my desk. This one measures 11 by, I think it's 1 3/4, okay? So it's 11 inches by 1 3/4, and we're gonna score it at 2 3/4. So we're scoring, not cutting. We're gonna score it 2 3/4, 5 1/2, and then at 8. So let me open this up, and we'll score at 8 as well. So this is gonna create our little mechanism for inside. So what we want to do is we want a W fold. So if you're inside here, we want this one to be flat like this, and it's gonna, you want the middle part to kind of come up at you, right? Because it's gonna pop out at you. So that's gonna fold down, and then to make the W, we'll fold both of these up like this, okay? So that's going to create that W fold, see? And then we can attach it to the inside of the card like this. But first, before we do that, we're going to take 2 pieces of 4 by 5 1/4 inch Whisper White, and we're going to attach that inside just to make it look a little more finished. So I'm going to go ahead and attach that centered on both sides. So there's one, and then we'll do the second one like this, lining them up, keeping them centered like so. Okay, and now we can use that as our guide as well. So I'm going to attach this Night of Navy right up against that edge of the white, and we'll do the same on this side, and that's going to create our little folding mechanism. So I'm going to put a little bit of extra adhesive on here just so that I make sure it stays put. We don't want our card to fall apart, right? So I'm going to put that right in the middle, although I am using Seal Plus, so it shouldn't fall apart. And then we're going to line this end up with that edge of the white. Okay, and now you can see this is going to pop open. So, and it looks like I folded it. I actually scored it incorrectly, but I just was able to fix it. So I will fix the measurements for you in the description below, because apparently this was off a little bit. It should have been over a little bit more. So let me just take a look at that. I messed that up. It should have been at 3 inches, not 2 3/4. So I'm going to write that down. It should be 3, 5 1/2, and 8. And then you'll be good, because that, I just had to refold it. But if you do the wrong measurements, as you can see, you can force it to go in the right spot. So it's all good. All right. So remember, it's 3, 5 1/2, and 8. But I'll put the measurements in there as well. Okay, next up, we want to put a little sentiment inside as well. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Night of Navy, and we're going to do thanks so much on this. If I can find my thanks so much. I think this one is dirty as well. So let me quickly clean that with my chamois. Okay, and then we can do the navy. All right, so here we go. I'm going to stamp thanks so much on a white, basic white, stitched so sweetly shape that I die cut with the stitched so sweetly dies. Okay, and then that's gonna go right inside here. So we can go ahead and tape that down. I'm going to tape it flat. Just, oh wait, you know what? There's supposed to be a piece of paper in there. I think I didn't cut enough of these. 1, 2, no I did. 3, 4. Okay, so then we're going to, I lied. So you can set that aside for a second. We need to do these first. So these pieces, you're going to need 4 of a pattern paper that matches the front. These are 2 by 2.5. And then these pink pieces are 2 3/4 by 2 1/4. Okay, and so these are just going to layer together. So let me do that quickly. And I just used the subtle print, but you could use the more bold print if you wanted to. I just kind of wanted it to be a little less bold inside. So I'm going to center these. So again, the yellow is 2 by 2.5. And then the pink is 2 1/4 by 2 3/4. So a perfect 1/4 inch border there. So I'm going to tape these all down to my Flirty Flamingo. Right in the center here. And then we'll tape these down to our little mechanism here. Sorry if I'm off the page there. Let me do that again. All right, and now what I'm going to do to make sure they stay in the right spot is I'm going to actually put the adhesive on the panel itself. So I'm going to attach that and put that right in the middle. So I put it on the blue band because I don't want to tape these pieces. This one doesn't really matter, but you don't want to tape, like you don't want to put tape up here because then it's going to tape to the card. So if you put it here on this part, then you know it won't seal your card shut by accident. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and center that and make sure I line it up with the first one I already put on there. There we go. We'll do the same thing here. Okay, line this one up in the center and with our other little panel. So I'm lining them up here too, like that. And then one more, and we'll attach this here, like this, lining that one up as well. And then this one is the one that goes right here. Just gonna pull off that little straight strand of paper. We'll attach this. Whoops. Like that. Oops, and I ran out of ink. Out of adhesive, of course. So I'm gonna put that there. Let me just quickly switch this over. I'm using the Stampin' Seal Plus because I like the Plus better than the regular seal. It's supposed to be more for like 3D boxes and things that need a little bit more strength in their adhesive, but I just find it's a little bit easier to work with for most people, and so I just use the one for all of them. All of my projects, rather. So there we go. So now we're ready for that. Next up is I got 3 1.5 inch white circles. And we're gonna grab this cute little flower from the stamp set. Let me clean off this image here so I can use the block. And we're gonna use the Flirty Flamingo ink. And we're just gonna go ahead and stamp this image right in the middle of the white circle. And it's great because these are see-through stamps. They're photopolymer, so you can see exactly where you're going and get them right in the middle. Okay. And now you could pop these up on the panel if you wanted to, but I'm going to try and keep the bulk down a little bit. So I'm just going to tape them with regular adhesive and put those right in the middle of our panels. Super easy fun fold, but really packs a lot of excitement for your recipient. A little surprise, I guess, is more like it. I don't know if they're going to really get excited about it, but I know I do. But all right, and then before we call this quits, I'm going to go ahead and add some bling to this. So we will go ahead and add some rhinestones. If you don't want the bulk, you could go ahead and skip this part, but I like a little bit of bling. So we're going to add some of the little ones because that won't add too much bulk to your card. And then we've got our finished card. So let me just show you again from the closed part. So again, this one's kind of wonky in how I closed it or scored it, but there you go. It still works. And then you can see the original one here too. So I will make sure I update all the measurements in the description of the video below. But also, before I leave you, I want to let you know too, if you decide you need anything in the online store before Friday, July 2nd, you can go ahead and shop here. And if you use the host code that's printed here, I will send you 3 card kits for this month. These are the 3 card kits. I featured them in my Facebook Live earlier today. If you want to go find me on Facebook at By the Shore Stamping, you can see me put those together, and you can earn the kits for free with an order in my online store. Just be sure to use the host code, and if your order's over $50, you'll also get the free rhinestones to go along with that. If your order's $150 more, don't use the host code. You'll still get the kits and the rhinestones, but I want you to earn the host rewards. So that's it for me today. I hope you enjoyed today's card, and I can't wait to see your creations using this fun fold. As always, I appreciate any feedback, and if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Have a great week, and we'll see you next time for Teach Me Tuesday. Bye for now.